Hey everyone, so I just want to do a quick intro to what this video is all about. This was my first opportunity to speak at WPPI. It's a quick 10-minute presentation of photos with impact. It's one element of a much larger presentation that I'll be doing, but it was actually an audition. We got to do it at the Comedy Cellar in Las Vegas, which was super cool. It was part of a contest. It was for WPPI's Got Talent. So they were looking for new educators, new speakers to join the speaker lineup next year. So I did my 10-minute version of my Photos with Impact presentation. I won the contest, so I will be speaking there next year at WPPI. I will be doing a photo walk. So if you like to learn from me and you're gonna be at WPPI, definitely sign up. But what the talk is about how to create photos with impact. Because it was a 10-minute presentation, I just took one intro chapter to my creating soul food images, which is getting more emotion and connection in your photos. The full Photos with Impact concept is a big part of my workshop and a big part of a lot of the courses and educational content that I will be making. If you want to learn more about my Photos with Impact, you can go to learnwithjosh.net to find a lot of my educational content. It's actually going to be the cornerstone for my Impact workshop, which the first one is this July 2025, and I plan on doing one every year. So you can register at learnwithjosh.net for that, or just sign up for the newsletter to find out when I have new classes. But anyway, it's a quick 10-minute speech. It went really well. I got a lot of people crying, I got myself crying. It was very vulnerable. You'll learn a little bit about me and how I approach photographing a wedding day and why I do it the way I do it. Apologize, the audio isn't great because it was just recorded on my cell phone from the crowd, but I think hopefully it's decent enough that you can still get something out of it and see the images that I share. So anyway, thanks so much for checking it out.
Our next speaker is Joshua Grasso. He is a wedding storytelling photographer and was named one of the top 50 wedding photographers in the world. So that's not easy to do, I'm pretty sure of that. So I'm excited to hear what you have to say. Come on up to the stage, it's your turn.
Thank you. And before I get started, I have a very important question for everybody, and that is, what is a lobster's favorite type of photograph? A shelfie. All right. Sorry, at the Comedy Cellar, I was like, now we're going. I've done stand-up at the Comedy Cellar. So. All right, cool. So now for the real presentation. I'm Joshua Grasso, and I make people cry. So this presentation is going to be a little bit about why I do that, why I love doing that, and hopefully help you figure out how you can do that too. And it's all going to be basically through learning how to create photos with impact. So part of why that's so important, especially as you're here at WPPI and you're walking the halls and there's like thousands of photographers, who are all wonderful by the way, and you're probably wondering, how the heck do I stand out? When a client is looking at 12 different websites, why are they going to pick up the phone? They call me. And so my whole philosophy has always been about trying to create photos that have impact. Photos with impact are photos that connect with people, make them stop scrolling. Photos that inspire people, right? And there's two basic ways to make photos with impact and two formulas. One is called eye candy and the other one is soul food. So eye candy is stuff that catches your creative attention, right? Catches your eye. This is all the fun stuff with lighting, dramatic, color, cool little bags of tricks that we use. But since it's 10 minutes, I'm going to focus on soul food, because this is what I think is more important. And this is what really speaks to me. These are the photos that get you in the feels, right? These are the photos that actually matter. So this photo, I feel like, is a great example of that, of what I mean, because this photo captures a legacy. This is a quick moment after the wedding ceremony where the bride gets to share a moment with their mom. And you cannot look at this photo and not realize that her mother loves her and is Miss Bride. And so the first thing you need to do if you want to be a photographer who has impact is understand that what we do matters. It's so much fun just taking pretty photos and we think it's just photography, but really, if you focus on this idea that what we do can matter, then you can make photos that have impact. And so this photo, this always gets me, sorry. This photo is a story about when I first learned the power of what we do. And so what you see there is Mima, 98-year-old great-grandmother, with her baby Chloe. And she was so happy to see her baby Chloe getting married. This is a rare opportunity for a fourth-generation great-grandmother to do that. And then 2 weeks before the wedding, she was checked into hospice. And so the mom calls me, and of course her mother's super close because it's her grandmother. And she says, this might be a lot to ask, can you come do photos with Chloe in her dress? And me, Mom. Of course, I said, absolutely. And so I was able to capture this moment. We got to see Mima be proud of her baby Chloe. In this photo here, there's no eye candy. It doesn't really have impact on a stranger. It doesn't have a lot of those features that I would talk about. But to them, it has a lot of impact because this is the last photo that Mima ever took. And she died 2 days later, 2 days before the wedding. And she still got to keep because they printed this photo big. And I've never gotten that much appreciation for what I've done. And so what we do matters. All right. We get to capture legacy. In this world full of hate and war, sorry, spam, that's hot. With all the conflict and despair and people that are struggling, we get to share in happiness. We get to show proof that there's joy in this world. We get to capture a moment where 2 women are in love and the family is proud. We are proof that happiness and love exists. So if you want to be a photographer that has impacts, you need to figure out what inspires you. It's the easiest way to figure out how to make impactful photos is find out what has impact on you. Because if it has impact on you, you're going to search for it, you're going to find it, and you'll find people that resonate with that. So for me, the biggest thing, like the previous story, family and love, really hits me. When I see couples in love, when I say I make people cry, actually the weddings make me cry. I'm a big softie. And so a little bit about how I got there is my story. When I was a kid, my dad chose drugs over me. But my mom was too depressed to be there. So, sorry.
Take your time.
I didn't know what it was like to feel love. And then I met my high school sweetheart. First time I felt like somebody. And then she gave me my girls. And so now I have purpose. Every day I focused on showering them with love, confidence. I do not want them to live one day like I felt. There's never going to be a day, that they don't know they're loved. And so all that to say, this is why I do photography the way I do it. Because I have a gratitude and understanding of how powerful love is and how powerful family is. Because I've had both. I've been without it, and I've had it. So little moments like this for my daughter with my wife, being happy together. My daughter in the pool, laughing, showing me the joys of childhood. These are the photos that speak to me. And if you want to be a photographer with impact, the rest of the kind of presentation is really going to be kind of about the formulas of how you find these types of moments. But when I'm on a wedding day, bringing it all full circle, moments like this speak to me because this is a man who's so madly in love with his life. This always hits me. I've always said that, not fighter. It's your friends, your family, just as excited to get married as you are. It's your mom shedding tears because she's so proud to see you grow up, and the dad giving you away. This one gets me. You and dad to baby girls. I'm always bawling, man. It's like the focus. Yeah, I cried a lot. All right. So if you want to be that photographer, the rest of the presentation is a lot about these different techniques to get better and more impactful photographs. And a lot of it, the eye candy is like the cool little bag of tricks that you can learn at WPPI, all the cool lighting and gels and stuff. And the eye candy's fun, I want to teach that too. But when it comes to the soul food photos, it's more about your mindset, your approach. There's no like ISO or anything no gel that's going to make it work. It's got to be how you approach it today. Like finding what means to you. And one of the easiest hacks I have is to constantly be looking for expression. I'm like a hawk person. That every time you see expression, what you are doing is you're seeing proof of emotion. You're seeing proof of joy. The expressions can be big and obvious, like hell yeah, we just got married, right? Or they can be subtle and cute. And these things happen so quick, they're a little intimate. I try to get them silly and whatnot, but This is why you have to be shooting a crazy amount of photos to get here. And so some other kind of more strategies that you can use, I'll talk about. We'll talk about using secondary stories, okay? So it's not just the obvious story. This is the ring exchange, a very typical story on every wedding that you gotta capture. But the more impactful story to me is something different, something that you don't normally see. And this is the ring bearer in the background crying, because that's his mom and dad. Finally get married. He's pretty old for him to take that long. I don't know what that story is. But it's still, it's an impactful photo. It's photos like this. It's a little busy, I guess, so I don't know if it like hits you right away like an eye-changing photo would, but this is the bride and groom sharing the first dance. And it's all four parents showing up out there. So there's a couple other little strategies I would talk about in the full one. But to end it, what I want you to do is think about what inspires you. So as you're here at WPPI, you're going to get so much information thrown at you. And when I was a teacher, I learned very quickly that if you don't get students to wrestle with the ideas, to apply it, you're not going to learn. So any speaker that has impact on you, you're not out shooting. We're in classrooms, so it's a little bit trickier, but try to imagine you're on a wedding day. What would you be doing differently to try to get more impactful photos? So if you can figure out what impacts you, then maybe you can learn to make people cry. Thank you.
Right now, I'm just gonna hug you. Because everybody wants to hug you right now. In my family, we call you Musha. It's like Milanese Italian, Musha, just a big mush.